Hi everyone, wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom Umvorach. This week we read Perashat Terumah, but as well, this week is a famous Shabbat. It is called Shabbat Zachor, simply because we read in it at the end of the regular Torah reading an extra paragraph about Zachor et Asher Asa Lecha Amalek, which means to remember what Amalek did to us. And we fulfill a once-a-year obligation of zechirat, of remembering about the destruction, and that we should destroy and wipe out Amalek. And therefore it's very important for everybody this Shabbat, men and women, to come to the synagogue and to listen specifically, especially to the last reading, as it is a mitzvah from the Torah. And this idea of remembering Amalek and what they did, and what does Amalek exactly represent? What is their ideology that God views as so horrible, so wicked, that we have to get rid of that ideology, to get rid of that philosophy? What was their philosophy? Amalek, actually, it's not so much that they denied God. They accepted God, they believed in Him, but they said there is no connection between God and this world. There's no such thing as divine providence or divine intervention. In a way, everything in our lives is completely coincidental. It's all random. It is pure luck. That is what they believed. There is no such thing as having a connection or praying to God. He cannot help you. He is not involved in this world. How interesting that Amalek's great-grandson, Haman Ha'agagi, who is from a grandson of Agag from Amalek, Haman has that same approach to life. Haman was the one that comes and he says he wants to kill the Jewish people. What day should we kill them on? And how does he decide that date? Hipil Pur Hu Hagoral. He does a lottery, a roll of dice. Hence the holiday Purim. Purim actually is not a Hebrew word. Purim is Persian, and it means lottery. Just like his grandfather, Amalek said, the fate of the Jewish people will be left to luck, to a roll of dice. And God will just have to stand by, and there is nothing that He can do about it. What's amazing is how the story plays out. Because we know, Venahafohu, it played out the exact opposite. And what the Jewish people realized in Purim is something fascinating. You see, if we look closely at Megillat Esther, we will find that there is no miracle in this holiday. I mean, it's a story that you could read that you think could take place today. You don't have to necessarily believe in God to believe that the story happened. There was a lady, she was Jewish, she was in the palace, and she puts in a good word, and she gets rid of this bad guy Haman. And actually, not only are there no miracles in the holiday of Purim, God's name is not mentioned, not even once, in the entire Megillah. But the Jewish people realized that day something amazing, and that is that we don't always have to see God visibly to know He's there. Sometimes God could be involved, but from behind the scenes. And when we read the story, and we read how in the third year of this guy Achashverosh's kingdom, he decides to make a party for the people of Shushan. And then he kills his wife Vashti because she doesn't want to come down to the party. And then 4 years later, another coincidence, he marries this Jewish girl Esther, who he doesn't even know is Jewish. And then one day these two guys, Bigtan and Teresh, want to kill the king, and they're caught and they're killed. And it's put in a good word for Mordechai that he's the one that found all of this out. Then coincidentally, 5 years later, Haman wants to kill the Jewish people. They send out letters to everybody, and then Mordechai comes in, Esther comes in, they foil the plot, and the Jewish people are saved. And again, if you look at the story over a 12-year period, which is how long it took place to evolve, there's nothing magical over here. There's no miracle. And the greatness of the Jewish people of the time of Purim is they said, yes, you know what? Maybe we don't see God clearly. Maybe He's hiding. But when you read this story of 12 years in 25 minutes, you realize how everything is a domino effect. And every single piece was crucial to this puzzle, and it created this miracle of Purim. Sometimes in our lives, we wonder, where is God? We don't see Him. You know, we're struggling financially, we're struggling with our health, we're struggling with our relationships, we're struggling in our marriage, we're struggling trying to have children or trying to get married. And we feel like God's maybe angry at us. God, where are you? God, are you here? Are you listening? Are you, maybe you're hiding. I don't know. We don't see you. Maybe you're angry at me. Maybe there's something that I did wrong that I'm getting punished for. Maybe something wrong that my ancestors did that I'm getting punished for. Purim reminds us to have the faith and the courage. When, like Esther, we do what is right in life, Hashem will come through. And maybe it'll take a year. Maybe it'll take 5 years. Maybe it'll take 12 years. But eventually we will look back and we will realize how there is no coincidence. What Amalek believed, Asher karecha baderech, that it's all a mikre. It's all a coincidence. What Haman believed, that you can just roll dice and that's life. Life is luck. If you get dealt a good hand of cards, you get dealt a bad hand of cards, it's you and your luck. The Jewish people come and we bring Hashem into the picture. And yes, God is not going to always be there splitting the sea. God's not going to always be there doing miracles for us like He did in Mitzrayim or like He did in the desert. And that's what's amazing about the holiday of Purim. The Jews were able to realize that Hashem was there, maybe not so visibly, maybe not so clearly, but He is always involved in our lives. And maybe that's why we cover our faces with masks on Purim. Because after all, wasn't Hashem also hiding? But behind that mask, we are there. We didn't go anywhere. Hashem is there, and that's what Megillat Esther means. Esther, Aster, from the word hidden, lehastir. God was hiding. Esther was hiding. Her nationality, her religion. And just to close with a beautiful quote that somebody actually pointed out today to me from Rabbi Jonathan Sachs. Science takes things apart to see how they work. Religion puts things together to see what they mean. Shabbat Shalom.